Hey, I just installed a new duckbill trunk for my G37. It's a OG V1 duckbill trunk. It's fiberglass, not carbon fiber, and it took about 9 weeks to get here. I ordered it on July 9th, and I got a shipping confirmation on like September 21st, but the website says 8 to 16 weeks, so that's pretty good. Here it is. I still need to get it painted, but it looks pretty good. A lot more aggressive than the OEM spoiler. I'm pretty happy with it. Looks really good. There were some kind of gaps around the camera in there, but I kind of tried to fill it in with like 3M tape on the inside there. The fitment is really good. It closed like first try, no problems. The only thing is over here it kind of sticks up a little bit. That's the only problem. Like everything else is great, it's not bad, but just this like kind of sticks up, which is kind of annoying. But I mean, you really don't even notice it like if you're not paying attention, and no one else is really gonna notice. But yeah, that kind of sucks right there. Look at that, looking good. Okay, let's open this thing up. So it didn't come with any pre-drilled holes except for these here, of course, 1, 2, and for the lock, and for the camera. Bam, bam. Okay. So I had to pre-drill the holes on the trunk for the wiring harness, and this here, and of course for the trunk, the carpet liner all around, you know, that. These square holes I had to drill. I just took like a drill and poked a couple holes in there, and then I used like this Dremel thing here. I don't even know what it is, but kind of like a Dremel, and this metal bit, and I just did my best to square it out until I can fit the this square clip in there. Same with the other clips. I kind of rounded it out a little bit so that everything else would fit in there a little bit easier after I drilled the holes. You also got to drill the holes for that part of the wiring harness and this other one here, but that's for the brake light, and I don't really need it, so I'm not going to worry about that. The G35 trunk is a little bit different because the wiring harness goes on the inside, but the G37, it's just clipped on the outside here. And to take it all off, you just feed it, you unclip it, and then you feed it through here. This little rubber part here is pretty easy, it just comes straight out. And then when you're ready to replace the trunk, make sure you have somebody, you know, holding each side when you loosen the bolts so it doesn't fall on your window or anything like that. Since there's no third brake light in this trunk, you're gonna have to reconnect the light in your back window here, and it's pretty easy. All you do is you take out 2 clips holding up this liner here, and then that sensor, that right there is unplugged. All you gotta do is just plug this thing in here, and then your brake light will be working again in your window. So that's pretty easy. These bolts right here came with the trunk. These are 11 millimeters, I believe, and they're actually pretty long. I didn't realize at first, but it was kind of it was so long, it was kind of bumping up on the outside here, pushing the outside slightly. And so I kind of panicked a little bit and I put some washers in, some extra washers on both sides, which I should have done to begin with, but I didn't think about it. So on the G35, I think these are Torx bolts, but the G37, you don't have to worry about stripping it because they're actual bolts. This is it right here. That's what holds it in, and it's 10 millimeter, really easy to get out, so you don't got to worry about that. I took one of the struts out because it would be too hard to close if you had both of them. They're really easy to get out. All you got to do is pull this clip here, okay, and then it just comes off just like that, okay. And then to put it back on, you push the clip in and then just push it back on, and that's it. It's really easy and quick. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the pre-drilled holes, it did come with pre-drilled holes for the camera, just 1, 2. So this right here is for the camera. This is for the lock. This one is for the brake light, which you don't need in the trunk anymore. I'm gonna wait to put the carpet liner back in until after I get it painted. What else? To pop out the handle here, I used a flathead to kind of pop it out on each side. Yeah, looking pretty good. What else do I need to talk about here? I'm just kind of looking at my notes here, seeing what else I need to talk about. Oh yeah, to pre-drill the holes, it was pretty easy because there were kind of it showed you kind of where the holes needed to be drilled. Like right here, there's kind of a little circle around each of the hole, you know, each of the holes right there, and up here, there's that little something, it tells you where you need to be drilling the hole. It was like that on all of them, including the squares, and I used the Dremel to kind of get in there and square it out as far as I could to like the lines. So yeah, you just fill in the lines kind of. Don't over tighten the bolts, just get them snug, you know, no need to over tighten, it'll be fine. To get the lock out, it's two 10 millimeter bolts here, one there, and then you got to pull these clips out here and then this down here, and the lock will come out, and you just screwed in the 2 bolts into the new trunk. It's pretty easy. Yeah, what else? Let's see what else. I think that's about all I have to talk about here. The new bolt sizes are 11 millimeters, the ones that come with the OG trunk. Closes pretty good, you know. Again, still have to get it painted. I'm gonna take it in tomorrow to get it painted. And to take out the camera, what you got to do is the camera on the OEM trunk with the OEM spoiler is actually inside the spoiler. It's not inside the trunk. So you need to take off the spoiler, as I found out when I was doing this. And the spoiler is held on by 3 bolts, okay? One here, here, and here. You just undo those bolts, and then it's held on by tape along the tops, okay? So what I did was I undid the bolts, and then I just kind of kept lifting up on it from underneath, and I used a hair dryer, you know, with hot air, and I just kept kind of going around it trying to warm it up, and I just kind of kept lifting up, you know, until it started breaking free all around. And that's how you get off the OEM spoiler, okay? That's where the camera is, right there. And then 2 bolts holding in the camera, one there and one there, with a little metal frame that holds the camera in right there. And it just goes right into the new trunk, and you just plug it in, and that's it. Hopefully that is everything that I need to talk about. And yeah, I love the trunk. It's pretty awesome. And that's it. Hopefully that's it.